I'm really glad you're here today. Not because this is some life-changing, dramatic, your entire future depends on this kind of video, but because maybe, just maybe, you're tired. Tired of overthinking, tired of caring too much, tired of feeling like every little comment, every small mistake, every opinion someone has about you carries the weight of the world. So let's sit down together for a few minutes and talk about something that sounds simple but is actually powerful. The art of not caring, in a healthy way. Not the cold, arrogant, I don't care about anyone attitude, not the selfish, destructive version. I'm talking about the calm, grounded, emotionally intelligent kind of not caring. The kind that protects your peace without turning you into a stone. Somewhere along the way, many of us learned that caring deeply about everything makes us good people. And yes, caring is beautiful. Caring about your family, your dreams, your work, your values, your health, that's meaningful. But no one told us that caring about everything equally is a fast track to exhaustion. When you care about every opinion, every social media comment, every comparison, every small failure, every imagined judgment, you slowly start handing your emotional control to the outside world. You wake up checking who liked your post. You replay conversations in your head at night. You feel embarrassed about things no one else even remembers. You say yes when you want to say no. You shrink yourself so others stay comfortable. That's not kindness, that's fear dressed up as politeness. The healthy art of not caring starts with understanding one powerful truth. Most people are not thinking about you as much as you think they are. I know that sounds harsh, but it's freeing. Everyone is busy worrying about their own lives, their own mistakes, their own insecurities. That awkward thing you said 3 days ago, you're probably the only one replaying it. That small failure you think defines you, most people forgot it 5 minutes later. We imagine spotlights on us when in reality, everyone else is standing under their own spotlight, worried about how they look. When you realize this, something shifts. You stop performing so much. You stop editing yourself constantly. You breathe a little easier. But healthy not caring doesn't mean becoming careless. It doesn't mean ignoring responsibilities or hurting people and saying, I just don't care. That's immaturity. Real emotional strength is choosing carefully what deserves your energy. Energy is limited. Time is limited. Attention is limited. If you spend it all reacting to noise, you'll have nothing left for what truly matters. Think about your mental energy like money. If you gave $100 to every stranger who asked, you'd go broke. Yet we hand out our emotional energy freely to random opinions, online arguments, distant relatives' judgments, people who don't even live our lives. Healthy not caring is budgeting your emotions. It's asking yourself, does this actually matter in 5 years? Does this align with my values? Is this worth losing sleep over? If the answer is no, then maybe it's okay to let it go. One of the biggest areas where we care too much is what other people think. We dress for approval. We speak for approval. We choose careers for approval. We stay in relationships for approval. And here's the uncomfortable truth. No matter what you do, someone will misunderstand you. Someone will dislike you. Someone will think you're too much or not enough. If you're quiet, you're boring. If you're confident, you're arrogant. If you're ambitious, you're selfish. If you're relaxed, you're lazy. You cannot win this game because the rules change depending on who's judging you. So why keep playing? The moment you accept that being misunderstood is part of being human, you stop trying to control everyone's perception. You focus instead on your character. Ask yourself, am I acting with integrity? Am I being honest? Am I trying my best? If the answer is yes, then let people think what they want. Their thoughts are their responsibility, not yours. Another place we care too much is comparison. Social media makes this worse. You scroll and see someone traveling, someone getting married, someone buying a car, someone launching a business, and suddenly your normal day feels small. You feel behind. You feel like you're failing at life. But what you're comparing is your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. You don't see their debt, their anxiety, their family pressure, their insecurities. Healthy not caring means not measuring your worth against someone else's timeline. Your life is not a race with fixed checkpoints. Some people bloom early, some people bloom late, some change direction entirely. There is no universal clock ticking against you. There is only your path. And when you stop caring about matching someone else's pace, you start enjoying your own steps. Let's talk about mistakes. Many of us care so much about not failing that we never try. We avoid opportunities because we're afraid of embarrassment. But failure is not a personality trait. It's an event. It's feedback. If you treat every mistake as a public humiliation, you'll live cautiously and small. Healthy not caring says, I am allowed to be a beginner. I am allowed to mess up. I am allowed to learn. The people who look confident today, they have failed more times than you realize. They just didn't let those failures define them. They cared more about growth than about looking perfect. That's the shift. Care about growth, not image. Care about effort, not applause. Care about discipline, not validation. Another important part of not caring in a healthy way is boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors with locks. You choose who comes in and how far. If someone constantly disrespects you, drains you, or dismisses your feelings, you don't have to keep explaining yourself endlessly. You don't have to win every argument. Sometimes not caring means not engaging. Not every comment deserves a response. Not every criticism deserves a defense. Silence can be powerful. Distance can be healing. You don't need to attend every fight you're invited to. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's necessary. And here's something we don't talk about enough. You can care deeply about people and still not carry their emotional weight. If someone you love is struggling, you can support them without drowning with them. Empathy does not require self-destruction. You are not responsible for fixing everyone. You can listen, you can encourage, but you cannot live their life for them. Healthy not caring means understanding the difference between compassion and over-responsibility. It's okay to say, I love you, but I cannot solve this for you. It's okay to step back when something is damaging your mental health. Another powerful shift is not caring about being liked by everyone. Being liked feels good, it feels safe, but if your identity depends on approval, you will constantly shapeshift. You'll agree when you disagree, you'll laugh when something isn't funny, you'll hide parts of yourself, and slowly, you won't even know who you are anymore. When you stop obsessing over being liked, you start focusing on being real. And the funny thing is, the right people are drawn to authenticity. You might lose some connections when you stop over-pleasing, but the ones that remain will be stronger and more honest. That's worth it. Now, let's get practical. How do you actually practice healthy not caring? First, pause before reacting. When something triggers you, don't respond immediately. Give yourself space. Ask, is this worth my emotional energy? Sometimes the answer will be yes, sometimes it won't, but that pause gives you control back. Second, limit exposure to things that fuel unnecessary comparison or negativity. You don't have to consume everything. Curate your environment. Third, build self-trust. When you trust your own judgment, you rely less on external validation. Keep promises to yourself. Show up for your goals. The more you respect yourself, the less you'll crave constant reassurance. Fourth, accept that discomfort is part of growth. When you stop caring about avoiding every uncomfortable feeling, you become braver. You speak up, you try new things, you risk failure, you expand. And here's something beautiful about not caring in a healthy way. It creates freedom. Freedom to express yourself. Freedom to choose differently, freedom to rest without guilt, freedom to change your mind, freedom to say no, freedom to walk away, freedom to start over. You begin to realize that your worth is not on trial. It's not something strangers get to vote on. It's inherent. It's yours. You don't have to prove it every day. And maybe the most important part of all this is learning to care deeply about the right things. Care about your integrity. Care about your mental health. Care about your relationships with people who show up for you. Care about your dreams. Care about your growth. Care about your peace. When you shift your focus like that, your life becomes simpler. Not easier, but clearer. You stop scattering your energy in 100 directions. You become intentional, and intentional living feels powerful. Imagine waking up and not immediately worrying about who might judge you today. Imagine making a decision based on what feels aligned instead of what looks impressive. Imagine sleeping at night without replaying every conversation. That's what healthy not caring moves you towards. It doesn't happen overnight. You'll catch yourself overthinking again. You'll care too much about something small. That's okay. Awareness is progress. Each time you choose to let something go that would have consumed you before, you're strengthening that muscle. Over time, you become calmer, more grounded, more focused. You realize that peace is more valuable than winning arguments, that authenticity is more valuable than approval, that growth is more valuable than perfection. And life starts to feel lighter, not because nothing goes wrong, but because not everything controls you anymore. So if you've been carrying the weight of everyone's opinions, everyone's expectations, every tiny mistake, maybe this is your reminder that you can set some of it down. You don't have to hold it all. You don't have to respond to everything. You don't have to be perfect. You are allowed to exist without constant justification. That's the art.